recording. Alright, so stream my monitor to you. This is the 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗃 I was given for your account. Is this it? Turkish Sniper?
Yep.
Okay, so what is your main goal with the league? Like, do you just want to be competitive for fun? What is it that you're looking for? Just so I know.
I think my short-term goal, like this summer, I have quite a lot of time to play, so I want to get to Diamond, at least in the short term, maybe in the next 1 or 2 months.
Okay.
And then in the long term, I'm not sure. I just want to climb as high as I could, really.
Okay. Do you mind me asking how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 15 right now, actually.
Okay, 15. Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of remind me a younger version of me when I used to play League when I was that young. Diamond. Okay. So
Okay.
you're an AD main.
Yep.
Looking at your prodigy, you look like you're a Jinx Twitch player for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I mainly play Jinx, but I just recently picked up Twitch because he's like quite good with the Bork build.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think as Jinx as a champion right now?
I think she's pretty good in most games. I think she's like one of the easier ADCs to play because you usually get pushed in lane, at least for like level 1 when you're pushing for 2, so it's like one of the easier ADCs to execute, I think, and also because of her range, so
Okay,
I generally like playing her.
Yep. I agree with you. I think Jinx. For your MMR, Jinx is pretty strong right now. I think it's really hard to punish Jinx as champion in Platinum. But I think just be careful when you definitely start climbing. Whatever, this champion does become a lot more scary to play, just because she's a really weak lane phase right now. Just a little feedback of my own. This is my main account. Currently support main, but previous seasons, as you can see, I've played a lot of ADC. Mainly, I've always been like the meta slave, so whatever is really OP, I would be playing it. I think you read in my bio, 1300 LP is my peak playing AD.
Yeah.
So one thing to start off I've noticed looking at your games is majority of your games, and as a typical ADC player, your CS averages is really low per game.
Yeah.
Okay, having 6. Some games, I think there's a game I saw here, you're like 9 or 10. Like, this game is pretty good. I think typically average, you should strive for 8 CF average. I think anything below 8.5 is pretty low for AD, and it's the difference between winning and losing, right? When you average that low CS number, and I think that's pretty important. That's like the main thing I realized. And 2, I think you should try adding one more champion to your champ pool. I've always had a rule whenever I was climbing on AD or even support is 3 champs max, and I would rotate through them, and that's just the best way I had success. Also, I'm looking at your Twitch. Some games you go inspiration here, and then some games you go domination. Do you know why, or are you just testing out?
I was just testing it. So you see, for the games where I'm going inspiration, I'm also taking PTA. So I just saw like 𝗥𝗵𝗆 was going that, so I just wanted to test it.
Okay. Yeah. So something I learned from other coaches that I've been coached by. So, like, have you heard of Rengar V2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he coached me as even the best players in the world, 𝗥𝗵𝗆 Kayle, even they build wrong. So one thing I learned really quick as ADC is just every game has a new set of runes, and it's just determined on the champs that they pick, right? So recently, personally, I've liked Lido Temple, or I used to be a lot of PTA, a big fan of PTA. I almost never take inspiration anymore because I think the rune on ADC is just worthless. Throwing free boots and biscuits don't feel as good as it used to, especially boots being a lot more useless now that the durability patch is harder to kill people. I usually just go scaling, so that either I go absolute gathering in sorcery, or I go condition overgrowth, right, just for better scaling. But
do you think that going like gathering storm, so like the scaling runes, would be better than going domination?
I think on a champ like Twitch and Jinx, I would preferably always go gathering absolute, just because these champs are super hard scaling, and usually game average, if you're looking game average time in your elo, 28, 24. I mean, this game is kind of outlier, but 29, 35, 33, 29. There's some games that are EUNE critic, but the average time looks like around 28 minutes, right? Like these games are pretty long, so you probably get more value from scaling runes. Obviously, if you're playing against a comp that outscales you, it would make more sense to have early game runes, right? Maybe PTA or and like the red tree as a secondary. Maybe you can go like treasure hunter and whatever, right? And try to like maximize gold efficiency early game. But that's just my opinion. So I think just by looking at your OP.GG, it looks like you have a pretty consistent. You play 2 champs, which is pretty good. Personally, I would add an extra third, and then just rotate between those 3, and then yeah, the other thing I noticed is maybe experiment more with room pages and see what you like. Obviously, I'm different from you, so you'll do a completely different room page setup. And lastly is just by looking at OP.G, very low CS numbers average for ADC player. If you look at any ADC player in Challenger, we can look up. I'm sure they'll have really high CS numbers if I can just find one. I know this is Prismal. Let's look at Neo. I think LCS player. 8 means center game. Pretty much 9, 9, 9. Smearing him. You see this, right? He has really high CS numbers just from the thing. Okay, so is there anything else you would like to review or ask questions about before we look into the gameplay?
I think that mainly makes sense. I just had one quick question. So, do you recommend like any ADCs for 𝗏𝗏𝗃 right now?
I think Jinx is perfectly fine. I think Jinx Twitch. I think if I was smurfing Yuri though, I'm a big 𝗏𝗀 fan and I think 𝗏𝗏 is pretty strong right now. I think, but that champ is really hard to do or to make work. Even I have like whenever I queue up support AD, right? On NA, and sometimes I get AD and I pick 𝗏𝗏, and even then it's like really hard to work because 𝗏𝗏 is like a really formidable champ. Meaning like once you screw up your lane phase, it's quite hard to come back because the champ from behind is really hard compared to Jinx and Twitch, where you can be like 0-10 and then you hit like 4 items, 3 items, and then you still one-shot the enemy team, right? That's how you pretty much, or you get 1 reset off Jinx, get excited, and you carry your fight solo. I think I've always told people just do what works best for you. What ended up working best for me was just spamming the strongest champs in every meta, right? So when Varus Ashe was really strong, I'd play them. When 𝗏𝗏𝗏 was strong, I'd play him. When Jinx or 𝗏𝗏𝗏 was strong, I'd play those champs. Whenever 𝗧𝗏 came out, I was playing her. So you have to find that balance of what you like and what works for you, right? So that's my advice on that. So
I
far,
see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You have any questions for me?
Not right now.
Okay, so let's look into the gameplay. So this is the VOD you sent. Big screen it. So I already saw your set die. So you're playing against Jhin Brand. So what I like to do, usually.
Oh, I can't see the VOD right now.
Oh, yeah,
You might only be sharing your Chrome.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, should work now.
Yep, I can see it. Thank you.
So I saw your lane matchup. It was Jhin Brand versus Jinx set. So what I usually do whenever I'm in lane is just I think about my lane matchups and how they're supposed to go. So I'm gonna ask you, how do you think your matchup is supposed to go? So you're playing Jinx set into Jhin Brand.
I think they have like better poke obviously, but we have really good all-in. I think for the caveat for this game specifically is that they invaded us and Sat had to burn his flash, so it kind of makes that a bit harder, but I think we should always get 2 first in this lane.
Okay, so I think it's really important that you pointed out that your Set lost his flash from level 1 because a lot of Set's lane pressure comes from him being able to flash you, right? And stun someone and then you being able to follow up. What's another key thing that's pretty important here?
Another,
at least I noticed. It's pretty important. I think taking MR or reverse armor. Let me see if I can see the team. I guess it makes sense. They're pretty AP heavy. Okay, so I realized I took MR, which makes sense now considering that there are 4 APs here. I didn't see that before. Okay, and then I guess this is better. So, two things I've noticed is item starts for both ADs are D-Blade, which means all-ins are more likely to happen, right? When you know the difference between starting D-Blade and Longsword 3?
Yeah, like longsword, it's more trade heavy.
Okay, yeah. And then this is when you start D-Blade, it's more of a all-in. So do you think that it is better for you to start Longsword 3 or D-Blade in this lane?
I think in hindsight, probably D-Blade actually, because I mean longsword, because I think it gives you more HP total, so it's like good against their poke.
Yeah.
And I think this lane is also trade heavy.
Okay, so I think if I were in your position, I would do Longsword 3 for the sole purpose of I don't think early all-ins even favor you. And so the reason why I say this, right, is because I think enemy Jin's kind of trolling by not going cleanse, right? When an ADC takes cleanse gun set, his all-in threat's pretty like worthless, right? Because you just cleanse it and you walk out. So he's trolling by not going cleanse, and I think that for your lane to even work all-ins, you kind of have to get like a little trade to begin with. But usually, what I would do is against lanes like Draven, Kalista, these type of lanes where the enemy ADC is so powerful early game, those are the lanes I'd personally start long or D-Blade, just because you probably need the early HP majority of the times. Considering, but if you're playing on something like 𝗥𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀, which their all-in threat isn't the best, it's more like they slowly whittle you down. Longsword 3 makes more sense, right?
Okay.
So
what do you think about longsword refillable? Because I go that some games against like
I think
poke lanes
longsword
as well.
refillable is just an ego thing where you're just saying you're worse than me and I don't need the extra pop.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I mean, there's some
Makes
lanes,
sense.
right? There's like realistically, there's like 4 strats for ADCs, right? There's D-Blade pop, right, which is like typically all in lanes. Longsword 3, where it's like pretty typical these days because most bottom lane matchups are like Senna TK, 𝗥𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀, Kalista Renata. These are the main ones you've been seeing around the world, right? Lucian Nami. And then there's the call one, which is just like AFK lanes. Usually I would do that against like double enchanters or like a lane that like I know I'm never gonna fight in. And then for ADCs that apply tier two pods, which is for like 𝗥𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀 mainly, and then you have refillable with longsword, which just means that you're worse than me. Pretty much like that's all it really is. So the one thing I've noticed is I personally would have gone Longsword 3, but I know Jinx does suffer from a lot of health or HP nerfs, right? They nerfed their HP on like twice or 2 patches in a row, so yeah. We'll see how this thing is played.
I'm trying to care. I just can't.
So you guys know leash 𝗬𝗲, which is I would never leash my jungler in a million years here, by the way.
Okay.
And the reason why is if you leash, you're pretty much giving up your prio, right?
Yeah.
If these guys are, and what this means is you have to also realize this: in some lanes it's okay to leash. So maybe like if you're playing a double enchanter, like Seraphine Soraka or something like that, right? You're never really playing for prio because you'll just get ganked, right? And you just die, blah blah. In lanes like Jinx set where prio is pretty heavy, pretty important, because what happens if Jhin brand gets priority first? What if they hit level 2 first?
They can just zone us super heavy.
Right, zone, and then what else happens to your HP bar?
Like super low.
Right, they're gonna poke you down, right? And then make it so you guys are not able to play your all in, which means you guys, no matter what from there, your lane is gonna be losing, right? If you guys can't all in and try to kill them, Jhin brand is just gonna slowly whittle you down, take your plates, and come back with better buys, right? You guys are gonna be forced to base first. So it's really important as an ADC to know which lanes you can and can't leash, right?
Yeah, okay.
An example of a lane you can leash is when you get priority no matter what. Even if they hit the wave, you would get prio. So something like this would be like maybe if you're playing like Jinx, Thomas, TK versus like Aphelios, like Thresh. Like that lane, you can leash and still get prio because Aphelios as a champion doesn't have an ability from level 1, right? So he just has to auto wave, which you can pop your rockets, hit the backline on repeat, and then after that, like you can fight for prio or get prio. But even then, like you don't really want to leash. So something that's pretty important that I learned in the past is identify what type of champ Jinx is, right? Is Jinx more of a fighting champ or like a wave control champ? in your opinion?
I think more of a wave control champ.
Right. And what does this mean by, like, what does it mean to have wave control?
Like you're able to get prio, you have better push, and like when they freeze, you have like the power to break their freeze.
Right, but if you have wave control, they shouldn't be able to freeze, right? Meaning that you have more creeps on your side, right?
Yeah.
So, and then a champ that would be like fighting would be like 𝗏𝗏𝗀, right? They want to fight you regardless of rates just because of how strong their kits are early game, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗀 with their E and 𝗏𝗏𝗀 with his Q base damage is very high. So you pretty much leashing here means that you won't be able to get prio if the enemy bottom lane plays correctly. And I think later on,
I think in this game they also leash. I think I was just like AFK level 1. I wasn't autoing the minions.
okay, that's the case. Let's see.
We're
Okay, so
interested
you guys are walking
in
together.
KDA Coaching
Let's just behave.
from 1K.
Right. So they're both leashed. You should always get prio on the side, right? If you just rocket this, well, see what happens. Okay, so here, they I know it sucks for solo queue, but do you usually use your pings to communicate with your support?
KDA Coaching
Not really.
from 1K.
That's something that you will have to learn because let's see what happens. Okay, so this is something pretty important. Is this brand just used his W, right? That's one of his abilities. You two should be able to fight or like run at them and fight, or not like really fight, but like you should be able to use your range to like start getting some like rocket shots on them, because Brand has nothing to trade back with, right? He just uses one ability to hit your set, and with your rocket form you arrange both of these people, right? Notice how what happens here, right? You guys are playing like super passive, super scared. Although your champ is really weak early game, right? Because Jinx doesn't really do that much damage early game. You can still position better. Like here, if I were you, I would be pinging my support to stay in this bush.
Okay.
Just like stay in here, because this guy can't do anything anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I was watching this like the first little bit without you, and I realized that this happens pretty frequently as well, where they use their abilities and you guys just give up space, because what you're pretty much doing here is just forfeiting lane again, right? This guy is gonna come here, and then now you won't be able to hit the wave, right? Because if you hit the wave, you're in. Can you see my mouse, brother?
Yeah, I can.
Right. So let me show you this. Okay. So something that 𝗏𝗀𝗃 did. I'm gonna restream for you. Is he made a video a long time ago about bottom lane, right?
Yep.
So something I'm gonna show you real quick is this is the lane of yours, right? This is like 1, 2, 3. The minions 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's kind of hard to see, but let me just redraw that. Just that's their creeps. Yours is the lines, right? So what happens now? What do you think is gonna happen in this current wave state?
They're just gonna get pushed because we can't really auto the wave from that position.
But here you can never hit the wave, and the reason why is because if you go and hit the wave, you're pretty much triangling yourself. You see that?
Oh,
how
I
these
see.
two
I see.
can both hit you, and your support can't do anything about it, right? Same thing here. In this picture, this guy in high elo, they will just walk up, take space here, and now instead of the lane being 50-50, where it's like, you can see my mouse, right?
Yeah, I can.
Where it's like half the lane's theirs, half it's yours. It's like 60% of the lane is theirs now, because you guys just forfeited a bunch of space. So it's really important that you maintain your space.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Skip some here. Go back. So okay. Okay, same thing here. Here, what you guys did here, it was fine. You guys pushed him off. You see how you guys both ran at him and he like shit his pants? And you guys reclaimed space here. Now the lane's like yours here. this is where you can actually hit level 2 first, right? If you just stand your ground and hit the wave on repeat with rockets. Because Jinx because Jin can never match, right? He can try to match with auto Q, but if he's queuing the wave, that means he's using all his abilities on the wave, right? You're just autoing the wave with your rockets, meaning that he can't. If he tries to trade with you, it's just be an auto trade. In which playing Jinx, you should be able to like auto space him. Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm just playing like I'm just respecting the Jin 4 shot way too much.
Yeah, he also got a good trade on you there, which is pretty bad because you're already down a lot of HP. You're down 300 HP in the first 2 waves, which is pretty scary as Jinx. So let's look at that again. So here, same thing. You're set forfeits push control for like no reason. Even if he sits here and tanks the brand W for you, it's really good. But okay, so you guys give up space. Pretty much what happened here is their support just gave his HP for yours, right? Jinx or Jin hit you, Set hit him, and then you guys try to push him off, but it's too late because they hit you now.
Part of the plan I just made up.
Okay, that guy lost his brain, lost his flash, which is pretty big. You also saw what ability he started second, which was his Q. Alright. Let's look at that again. So, when you play champs like Jinx, and you're playing against champs like this, standing stationary is like always a no-no. Okay? Never just stand there and hit the wave. Or at least if you are gonna do this, make sure you're not on the wave. And the reason why is because against champs like Brand Ziggs, their abilities are AoE. You want to force them either to hit you or the wave, not both, because now you're giving them a trade and push power. You see how that works?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a bit harder in this situation because of how the lane states are right now, but yeah, just never stack.
Okay. A quick question there. So, you see when there were like 5 extra minions on their side and I rocketed it, do you think I should just like last hit with minigun? Because when I rocket it, it's like our wave is going back into the middle and it makes it super hard to play.
I mean, it depends on what you guys want to play. So, I think in this case, I would let the wave come into me and just try to hit all these or last hit the best I can with rockets. And the reason why is because, I mean, both junglers are pathing up, but you don't know for sure, right? Like their jungler could have just, they're playing 𝗏𝗏𝗏, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏 can do solo start, so he technically could have started top side, and these guys just fake leashed, which is like pretty bad because if you die in this lane, like it's pretty hard for you to play the game. And I think the key thing is your jungler is pathing up. So what I would do is I'd play the lane stay where I don't let them crash a big wave at my turret because 𝗏𝗏𝗏 could be here, but also make sure I'm not like crashing into them, right? Like just hitting these waves like a brainless chicken, and now the wave meets in the middle where I can't hit anyways, right? Because due to the HP trades. So you have to find a balance. It's quite hard because here you don't have any information where 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is, right? Like for all we know, he's sitting this bush right here, right? And the moment you nuke this wave, he just comes and flashes on you, and then you die, and then you're pretty sad, right? You base on 200 gold, and like you're just like crying in the inside because now these two are just gonna get more fed and slowly win this lane harder. So I think what you did was fine if you had dodged this, the brand W thing. That's the most important thing. I think, okay. So you're pretty low on HP and mana. And now the lane becomes really hard because they have push power, right?
Yeah.
You guys can't do what you guys want to do, AK all in them because of what happened early game. So now you just have to take the L slowly. I'm not a big fan of where you're standing.
Okay.
And the reason why is you're putting yourself in a fishbowl. The reason why I use this term is, as an AD, you want to give yourself the most amount of space, right? So basically, you matching the Jhin here. So this is fine. You're playing out of the range. This is fine. I like this. I like this. Okay. This is where I don't like. Because you're just trying yourself again. You see this triangle again?
Yeah, I see.
You're doing the same thing again. So if this guy just lands his EQ on you or WQ, you're just going to die from full HP. Rather than you standing here and you're set here, in which you guys triangle the brand, right? If this guy trusts on you, your set pops Q, or at least can take space, just run at them and make them scared, right? But here you're like asking them to all in you. And then you also tank another 4 shot, which is like really bad, right? So now on the bounce back, you can't really play the game because you're too low on HP. But what they ended up doing is, I guess they ended up hard shoving again. Yeah, I mean, they're brainlessly pushing this next wave in, right? Realistically, they should never hit the next wave. The reason why is because they want this wave to reset in the middle, so you have to come out all the way out. When you come on the middle, they're really happy because they can just premier zone both you set off of more CS and slowly pull you down. So here you pretty much got really lucky. 2 things here. As you saw 𝗏𝗏𝗏 topside, your team just died twice. And the enemy bottom lane is pushing every wave, which is pretty good for you. You should be, like, you're really happy right now.
Yeah.
It's really important. Ooh. Okay, so let's watch that sequence again. So here, you saw the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 topside, or you should have seen him topside, right? You warding like this is pointless because you have full vision of, you know, Jinx here. If Brand is here, you kill him anyways, right? So you know 𝗏𝗏𝗏's top. 𝗏𝗲𝗏 is probably on base after killing a mid laner. You can assume this one. You see Mundo top. You have information on four out of the 5, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏 could still be here technically, but it'd be really bad for a game. And if she is, you pretty much give your mid laner a lead. So here, your traps are like
they're
pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you end up getting a Jhin flash, which is pretty good at least for your lane, and your jungle is just nothing for it. But here's the trouble part, okay?
Okay.
You did not ping your jungle to help you push this wave or the next wave, right? You know, if this wave is here, the enemy wave is here, right?
Yeah.
What do you have to be worried about now?
I have to try and shove the wave to like reset.
Right, and who should you be most scared of right now? So your wave is still pushing back into them.
I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏 because he just showed top, so he's probably coming bot now.
So you can assume 𝗏𝗏𝗏, if he was topside, his camps are back up, right? His Raptors and Krugs are back up, and he's in path back from bottom lane to top lane, right? Jungle is clear in a straight line, kind of, where they can maximize pathing efficiency and clear all their comps in one go. Your wave is still pushing. You're half HP with no mana, so it's still hard for you to push alone because you can only get 2 rockets, 1 rocket at most. And the enemy bottom lane is still pretty healthy in resources. When I mean resources, I mean HP and mana, right? Jhin is like 75 on each. This guy is a bit low on mana, but he has the HP, right? Your set and you are pretty low compared to each other. So right now, what you should do is spam your jungle to just help you push. It sucks for you to spray XP, especially as a champ like Jinx, where you're hyper carry, you want all the gold and resources. But it's really mandatory that you do this because if the enemy bottom lane or jungle is human, or I mean like just like decent at the game, like you'll die. But it looks like luckily you get this wave in anyways.
Yeah, I think I just back here.
Yeah, and then they're gonna hold the freeze here, but they have to thin it out. I mean, at this point you have no choice. You end up doing the right play anyways. Okay. Going back to lane. See Volibear mid, going back into bot side. Your wave is still frozen. You're down like 9 to 8 CS.
I think I get bailed out here because they messed up the freeze.
Yeah, they ended up swinging the freeze, and so now, what is your goal? What should be your goal right now?
I just let them push into us
Do you want them
and
to push
then
into you?
try and freeze.
Why do you want them to push into you?
Oh wait, or I guess our goal would is to keep them in lane by pushing the wave actually.
Right. So,
Okay.
kind of. You have the right, like, you're on the right answer, but not fully. So right now, you just purchased 900 gold of items, right? You bought a pickaxe and a potion. Your support probably did like 300-400 gold, right? He probably bought like a ruby crystal, a boots refill, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you pressed tab, so I can't even see. Have these two based yet?
No.
No. And what else do you have advantage? Besides of items, you have something else advantage.
HP and mana.
Besides resources, you have something else. That happened like 30-40 seconds ago in the game.
Oh, I have their sums.
You have Jin Flash.
Yep.
Okay. And there's something else really important on the map going on right now. Let me see if you know what's going on.
I mean, is it like my Udyr's invading his top side? So
Yeah.
where
So
Volibear was probably gonna go. So
right. So if your jungler is invading his blue side, right, taking his Gromp, where is Volibear? Where can you assume Volibear is? Bot side, right? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
did you hear me?
No, I didn't.
Up right now? Okay. I just said that our Udyr's invading their Volibear.
Yeah.
So
So
the Volibear's probably pathing top right now because his camps are up.
right, but what does it mean he is right now?
Oh, it means he's. I think it means he's bot side or based.
Right. I mean, he just
Yeah.
came from base, killed your mid laner. Does it make sense for him to base again?
No, it doesn't.
No, right? So you can assume. Oops. You can assume Volibear. Sorry, is somewhere in the bot side. So if you start pushing this wave like a British chicken, what's gonna happen to you?
We're gonna get ganked.
You're gonna get ganked, and you lose all your summons and you die, right? And we don't want that to happen because you have an advantage right now. The advantage is you spot items, you have full HP, full mana. These guys don't. So the goal here should be freeze.
Okay.
How do you freeze? Do you know?
Yeah. I mean, like the wave's coming into us, so I just need to trim it a bit because it's a bit too big.
You gotta thin out the wave a little and maintain it. And what's the second step of holding a freeze? There's two steps where we have to maintain it by trimming it, and there's one more step.
So like you trim the wave and you get it to like about 4 minions, more
So
minions,
once you
and
get
then
the wave, right? Because once you trim the wave will be right here, freeze right here. But I'm saying after you secure the freeze, you have to do another step.
oh, just like last hit and zone.
Zone them. You have to maintain the freeze by making sure they can't touch your wave. And if they touch your wave, what's gonna happen to them?
They're gonna die.
They should die or lose everything, right? In this case, they have no sums, so they should die. So let's see if that's the play.
Okay.
Okay. So you rocket it. It's pretty bad. So you kind of broke your freeze, or you could have had a better
I'm
one.
not sure how to do it with cannon.
So here it's just 4 creeps, or I think a cannon should do. So either it's 4 range creeps, or it's just a full HP cannon will maintain a freeze. So here you heading the rocketing the wave here is pretty bad. What I would do is I would just last hit everything here.
Okay.
So I would come to this lane, right? Start trying to like make them scared, like haha, like you can't find me. Here's an important time for you to ward, by the way. So when you walk to lane, rather than like going these bushes, AFK and do nothing, you should drop a ward in river, right? In the corner, so you can see Volibear, right? And here, I would hit these melees, right? And after this, kill these 2 HP ones, and I'll leave the 3 casters and the cannon, and then just last hit everything.
Okay.
Okay, this is like a perfect freeze, but at least you'll make them lose. Like, you'll gain what you lost on your previous base because you didn't crash, right? So what you lost there, you will gain here.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Here, just lasted everything. It's not like a perma freeze just because the creeps were super low, but they'll lose an entire wave. Here, I'll just ping my set here, by the way, once this wave dies, to tank everything. Again, to maintain the freeze. So, I don't know what that was, but it's kind of griefing you. But we won't worry too much about him. Okay. Your top side's fighting, and guess who hasn't showed up to the top side fight?
Volibear.
Yeah, so your goal here is just to bluff. Because you still don't know Volibear is. Like, he can be on your blue buff right now. So, you don't want to take insane trades to the point where you're diveable. You just want to kind of maintain this lane state. You're really healthy, and like it's really hard for you to dive, right? Because you have all sums up. So you walking here, you have big balls. You have no idea what brand is.
I trode here.
Huh? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I trode here.
You know Jin and Brand reset together, right? Brand could legit be in this third bush and you don't even know. Your positioning is like really bad here. You should trade spots with Sat, and the reason why is because if you're here, you can still hit all these creeps safely, right? But the only difference is if you're sitting here, you can hit the creeps, but you're just putting yourself in danger for no reason, right? You're like your danger senses here should be like alerting, like danger, in like rumble, danger, danger when you like overheats. Like it should be like screaming in your ear right now. That Brand can sit here and just kill you. Or at least chunk you to half HP with your loser paw, but now you're diveable, right? We don't want that to happen. So we prevent this by making sure you're in the safe spawn in the lane. So it's really hard for them to do damage to you, but you can hit them. So you walk here, they could kill you there, rather.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, guys. Alright trade, but now you have to get to the base.
Yeah.
Right? You just trolled your entire, like, you had a really good sequence, but now you have to base, because Volibear could be here. And now you're dive, they can straight up dive you 100-0, so at least you base on a cannon. I would buy boots, by the way, here. I'd buy boots, and just run straight faster lane. Oh look, gets to shot at the bottom lane. So, let's go back and see how we can prevent this again, okay? So, you know Volibear hasn't showed top side, so you can safely assume he's still somewhere on the bot side, right? Did he just take Dragon too? Right, so you know he's bot side because he just took Dragon too, right? Okay, so you know they're coming back to lane, and your main goal should be don't let them crash a big wave because they can still dive you. So your main thing is just make sure they can prevent the crash. Do not let them crash. Do not let them crash. Do not take any big HP trade because we're running on the top side. So you here, you should be. Let me stand on the safer side of the lane where they can never like do damage to me, and I can hit the wave. So you and Seth should trade spots here. The reason why is because if they start hitting Set and using all their abilities on Set, you just hit the wave. Hit the wave and just prevent them from crashing this wave. Because some champs like Volibear, very strong level 3 champs, Volibear at least, these champs are really easy. It's like even with the new changes, it's really easy for them to dive, right? Just because they have a stun and their kits are overpowered early game, right? They're very simple, like high damage, high burst type of champs, junglers in the early game. So you should still be scared here. And the way you prevent it is just by trading spots and hitting the wave, right? If they hit your Set, you're okay with it because Set can just regen the HP with his passive and W, and you can just rocket the wave freely, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you already know you should never do this ever in a million years. Your main mindset goal here, when this is the map state, is week 1 on top side. Don't give them a play on your bot side, right? Even you can push. So this wave is still really far from this, right? It's tier 2. You can one shot this wave with Set and go do information too. You don't have to do this here. You don't have to maintain the wave here. If you're like too scared, you can one-shot this wave just because you see this next wave is really far. And you can go do information gathering, but you're just going your jungle with set and see if your blue is taken, see if your Grom's taken on spawn. Because this way you'll know if 𝗏𝗏𝗏 based after dragon or came to your bot side. Does it make sense?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You're the biggest child man for doing this. If I'm sad right now, I am super pissed. I'm calling for FFO right now. If someone did this to me, I am straight up just spamming them and FFing.
Okay.
Like this is legit like a game-losing play where your team got our big play, right? We just killed 2 people on top side.
Yep.
We're very happy, and then ADC ends.
Yeah. I think I have like a really bad perception of like playing weak side or like playing according to where my jungler is.
We can talk about that after. So here, you walk back to lane. They have 4-man your bottom lane. Udyrs, Usain Bolt running a marathon around them, and they're all chasing like Brandon's chickens, killing it. Okay. Then I heard 𝗏𝗏𝗏 flash, smite. Okay, you're respecting. Not much really to do right now. So you can still be here. They could try to re-gank you, but you do have all sums. That takes a big HP trade. Okay, let's see what happens. Damn, you're down half level as well. You see?
Yeah.
This matchup, you're down a lot of CS at 8 minutes. So typically every minute you want to be like 10 CS, 9 CS. You're way below that threshold as hyper carry, which is really bad. And 2, you're down half a level.
Yeah.
It's really bad, right? And you're down 2 plays, 2.5 plays, which is like really bad. Because what it means, remember what we said earlier, fighting versus wave control? What it means to be a wave control champion means that the champs that want to fight, like just their bottom lane, like their Jinx or like a Kalista, like a Draven, when they go against wave control champs, like Jinx, who else is a good wave control? Even Jhin to some extent sometimes. Pardon?
I think 𝗥𝗏𝗏.
Even 𝗥𝗏𝗏 in some matchups. What it means is when you have wave control, that means usually you're the one hitting level 2 first. And when you hit level 2 first, you can zone them off the wave, which means that your wave is bigger, right? No matter what. And if they fight you in your big wave, they'll die 10 out of 10 times. Doesn't matter if they're strong in champs. If they're fighting in a wave that's more than like 9 creeps or 7 creeps, they're going to die in 2v2 unless like something dramatically terrible happens, right? If we're playing like with fingers and hands and brains, it's almost impossible. Yeah. And what it means to be a wave control champion is that fighting champs will never have a timer to do what they're doing to you. Because if you always have wave control, what does that mean? That means you have more minions, meaning that if they try to fight, you win. So therefore they cannot fight. Therefore it means they can never do what they're doing to you, which is like hump you on your turret, get your turret plates, you being down half a level. You'll be even maybe down like 10 CS max. Or like whatever due to like better CSing. But in this case it's like a pretty sad state for you too, right? You're not very happy with this lane state. And then okay, so what you just did again. So what do you do by one-shotting this wave? What does it like do?
By one-shotting this wave?
Yeah, like what happens to the next wave? Like where does it meet? What happens to it?
It meets in the middle.
Yeah. Is that what you want to wait, right? So just look at what happened.
No.
Right? Your set just lost his entire tree bar. Right?
Yep.
He lost the entire tree bar. What happens if you lost all these creeps?
Then my wave will like first stop at those creeps, and then the next wave and the wave that's coming. So like the next 2 waves that are coming are gonna like meet, and then they're gonna meet on my side.
Yeah, but there's a term for that.
Like slow push, I guess.
It's gonna be a slow push. And what does it mean to be slow pushing? That means that the wave will be on your side of the map, right? Meaning you can catch this wave. So if you slow push, you can catch this wave and the next wave. And by then your set should come back and you should be able to catch the next wave, unless like you're scared of 𝗏𝗏𝗏. You one-shot in this wave means you can't catch the next because you're meeting in the middle. Right? You're 1v2, you're down half a level.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense actually.
One shot this wave. So then that one shot this wave, oh, you lost your flash. See when did that happen? Oh, surprise. Jesus. Right? This would never happen if you're still pushing and you're hugging left side. And the reason why you hug left side is because it's the most distance from them, right? Makes sense? Same thing as before.
Yeah, makes sense.
You can hit the wave, and if they try to run at you, you just space them. You throw a W, you switch Q form, and you start hitting them.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another throw the wave, your set finally comes back. Then you check the bush, bring four in. Not there, you hard shove. Okay. Alright, let's look at the sequence as well. Okay, so you just lost your flash. They push this wave, and they're not on this bush, so they're either choosing this bush or they're basing. There's two options, really, right? It should be very quick to you. That, okay, if they're not in this bush or this bush, they're probably basing the bush, right? And they're at base. You hard shove this wave. Next wave is cannon, and you ended up hitting this turret for plate.
Do you think I just reset on this wave?
Yeah, I would always base it. And the reason why is because you're very low mana, and they're coming back with full conditions. When I mean full conditions, is they're gonna be full mana, HP, and new fucking items, right? They're gonna have like a BF sword, like a Zeal, whatever the hell they're gonna buy, Sword of Dirk. You can never fight them, and the bad thing about this is you hitting that turret play means that they can lock you in lane. Meaning that if you start basing now, even if you base, these two people have pretty decent wave clear, right? This guy will WE and this guy will QW the wave as well, and they'll one shot the wave, right? Make sense?
Yep.
You'll lose your entire turret. Or what I mean is they'll lane lock you and force you to stay in lane. Do you really want to stay in lane with this much mana?
No.
No, right? These guys came back with full like Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, and you're coming back with like a Winnie the Pooh or something.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like,
yeah.
You see how this guy didn't give a fuck. He just straight up went out and he's like, I'm gonna make sure this Jinx dies what she did. Okay? They fought you. You're setting up someone solo killing Brand because support is weak this match. And then you try helping and he trade kills. Even this doesn't favor you because look what happens. You miss another wave, you lose another plate, and you go further down in the XP and gold against your lane opponent.
Yeah, okay.
So it's really important.
Sense.
Also, I don't know what you're spacing there. Like you're like spazzing here. Look at your movement here.
I don't know.
Why
I
just
see that.
Here?
I don't
Are you scared of a mini move or what's going on here?
I don't know. I just did that randomly for some reason.
That's a bad habit. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, yeah, you should like instantly realize, okay, they base, I need to match their base. And the reason why you match the base is you press B now, the time they catch this wave with the next wave, then push it, you'll be at your turret. So you'll be able to catch, you won't miss anything. But this happens, and now you're just even like very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is you haven't died yet. Bad news is you're only down 40 CS and maybe an entire level. Okay, so you end up basing and they end up trying to dragon and yeah, that was really sad, but they ended up almost all dying for dragon. So your main goal should be hard shove this wave and hit turret plates. Now is where you hit turret plates, right? And the reason why is because this guy's condition is so bad. Right? This guy has 400 HP, his support just died. You just saw enemy 𝗤𝗲𝗃 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 live with 31 HP 2 seconds ago. So you know. Oh, I was gonna get there. So now you know you can do this. But the one thing we have to be scared about is 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Because jungle camps heal this fucker.
Yeah.
So he came back full HP and bush killed him. I was gonna say here's the one thing you have to be scared about, and is just a regank from 𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah.
Oh, you can kill him here. You can actually get out if he plays better.
Okay.
And the reason I'll show you how to play better, okay, is the moment you see this guy, you should notice like something's a bit weird. Because if 𝗏𝗏𝗏 fights you in this big wave with exhaust, you should be able to kill him. The
Yeah.
moment this happens, drop exhaust on him and move forward.
Okay.
Look how scared you are. This guy's 400 HP. Just fucking punch him in the face.
Yeah. I think I was just like hesitant here and then.
Yeah, because here where hesitation is what kills you.
Yeah.
Because here, if you get the reset with your move speed, you just run away.
I just
Whee!
run. Mhm.
Right? And you just play like, you just like run up to Victor, or you play around this big rock, hoping that your team comes first. So I would just run up to Victor. But now you end up dying, and you're very sad. So the one play you can come back in the game with by killing this Jhin and maybe hitting plates, or even if nothing happens, you just hump them on the turret and make them have the bad base, is like kind of like throw it away just by your hesitation. Don't hesitate, just do the plays. Because this way is, if you ended up entering the play, you'll know for next time. If it plays goes well, you'll know. You know, when you hesitate, you'll really like you don't really learn. The only thing you learn is just like, I didn't do a play. You had two plays in front of you. Commit to the kill or commit to running. Right? You did either. You did neither of them. You like ran away from Jhin, then you came back, and then you did all the like kill you. Right?
Yeah.
So you just pick one line and just go with it. And at the end of the day, at least you know if this line doesn't work, you'll like in the review when you do revolves or you after the game, you'll know that the second line is probably the play I have to go in this situation. Okay, so now you're big sad. Come back to lane. Oh, we're fighting. Okay. Wait. So. So if you're gonna fight here, by the way, you guys need to commit. The problem is you guys can't commit because you guys don't have flashes. And what they did is they just cut you.
Okay.
And I don't even think you guys win. This guy's guild force already. It's been 14 minutes and you haven't used your exhaust the first time in the game.
Yeah.
And here your movement is like your ability, your movement and your ability, like knowing what ability is up was really poor.
Okay.
No, I'm very surprised you end up winning this game as well. How this game is going.
Yeah. I got like some lucky shutdowns.
End up dying again.
I'm kind of tilted here.
Here, Volleyball runs at you. Okay. I mean, you're just on the wrong side of the lane. Right?
Yep.
You should never be here. Like, you guys are hovering here as if, like, you guys are like Thanos. Like, you have one person in base, one person on top. I would say, like, literally just 𝗥cie here. Let them push and I'll catch away from my turret. You end up losing your flash and dying, which is pretty sad. You end up catching 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝘀. Whoa, whoa. Okay. There's a good start to the fight. Get a reset if we lose half HP. Okay. So here. What are you scared of? Not here? But look what you do here. Whoa, where are we running?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
You're running into like no information. If you're gonna run up. You have vision here, right? You're running close to your teammates. But here you're like spacing like thin air. You see how like here you're under no threat, which means that you can hit this guy, right? You can hit this volleyball with max range Q, right? You can go like move right here and start ramping up your lethal tempo. But here you're just like wasting time running away.
Yeah, it does.
You see how if you had if you had maximized DPS there, this guy would be dead, and now you'd be excited. Hit, keep hitting. You're under no threat here, right? You see this guy, but Tom's TK is marking this guy. You should just hit this Mundo. Because chances are you would kill this guy. You'd probably kill that guy. And then run away from this guy with reset. but you don't do anything again. Like you just like in this team fight, you maybe did like 1200 damage, which you could have done like double or triple that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like here, you shouldn't be scared. Just keep hitting this guy. Boom, 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 boom. Rocket WWW or auto WWW or auto W auto. This is pretty good though. You switching to your minigun there? That was pretty good, but it doesn't matter no more because you're too weak and you didn't get a reset.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was like hesitating there again because the second I saw Talia, I was like,
it looks like you
I don't
hesitate
know,
a lot. And then you see how this works, right? When you hesitate, your plays just go to shit and you don't get anything.
yeah.
You gotta kill. What the hell did you gotta kill?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at yours. You're like so happy right now. You mean look? Oh, you're so lucky too. Okay, that's pretty big. Okay, you're 1800 gold. They ended up diving your bottom lane. Okay, you got Kraken, so now you do decent damage. Oh, what's happening here? The reason why I'm skipping is because I already know what happens. I just want to see your fighting skills. See, again, you see your movement, brother? It just tells me you're hesitating. So you get another shutdown. Look, you can move, let me move it. See that?
Yeah.
You're running and you're like, wait, I'm scared. Let me back click.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a couple things after, and after that we're done with this game. I think you have to law, which is really bad. Okay, here. Mate, this is just you being very sloppy. Like you lose an exhaust because you just didn't want to do like you didn't want to play max range. You're playing a champion that has like 30 the longest range in the game, and look what you do. Look.
Yeah.
You melee range him. You melee range this guy. You already see your set coming from a flank. Just 𝗥cie here. This guy's already dead. Let him use his abilities on this guy. This Victor. Is this Victor? This is Victor. Right?
Yep.
And then you just get an assist and run up and kill the Talia.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just fucking creepy.
Hey, this is actually reportable gameplay. This
Yeah.
Okay, lucky. When I mean reportable, I mean just like if I'm like your teammate and I see this gameplay, like I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, so you had the chance of basing on PD. If you KS that kill and the other one, you'd be back in the game. You'd be 2 items, and well, just don't look at your farm. Don't look at your farm. Okay, so I mean, you guys just kind of AFK, and then it looks like you guys just win every fight. You get a reset. How do you lose your tree again? Okay, this is good. You see how you're running? I mean, although you should be kiting this guy, right? As you run, you hit him.
I think I just like flashed in. I greeted for the grand really hard.
Oh my god. Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
this. This fight's always winning. Like, you should know this fight's always winning because their front line is dying way faster than your front line, right? Like, you should know from here, if you're gonna flash, you commit from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay? Here, you're just hesitating again. Look, you land this big rocket. So right here, you see it. So here, you can flash right here and auto this guy.
An auto, yeah.
Right? But look, you run, you're like, wait, oh, let me flash now that he flashed? No, just kite to the left. So make space for yourself, right? Just kite to the left. Hit this guy, get a reset, and then you can run him down. You don't even have to flash. Now you flash it into like Grand W Talia Q, nearly nuked yourself. And now you're 1 HP. And you're like, okay, I can't chase, let me go hit this wave.
Yeah.
You guys ended up getting, you guys got a kill. You didn't get Nash. Got an item. Okay, you see how like here as well, I've noticed you don't even kite. Look at yourself here, okay?
Okay.
So here, you're walking too close to this guy. Rocket form. Use your rocket form. Just turn Q and pew 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 pew. Like you're standing behind Victor, you're hitting him from right here. And the moment you see this, you're already at the edge. You just kite here, right? You kite out of the thing, and then you switch into minigun, and then you start fucking beaming his ass. Brrrr. This is just like minigun, okay?
Yeah.
look here, look at movement. This guy just used his Q, E, W, R. Look, you're not hitting him. Look, you just run. You just fit 1 auto. You should fit 3 autos in that time.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not maximizing. And you blocked in a Jin trap. So. Here. Oh, 1 HP again. It's fine. See what happens here. We got hit by brand ability somehow. Okay. Not the worst. I see what your intention is, kid. Like I'll clap. Okay, nice. We're just blocking for you. Okay, got a reset. You can carry the fight. Got. Oh no. Okay. So your movement's also very bad, but I'll teach you how to fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, KDA. Nice. Nice.
I really fucking grief you.
Okay, I mean, it was a nice try. I saw what, I mean... Yeah, you just in TK belly. The moment he flashes over the ball, you spare yourself out, and then you guys just run.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep, like, I'm assuming you guys don't do anything but air ram this game after. Looks like it. I just want to keep seeing the fights. Okay, you have IE. You're really strong right now. You just need more bombs. Or BT, probably. Nice reset. Okay, running at them. Oh, you keep blocking into these traps. Look. Just. Was that Talia? Or. No, that has to be a trap, right?
It's Jin, yeah.
That's 500 HP to a trap. Luckily, your TK carries wide. Okay. Yeah, feel that better. Okay. Ooh, do not do what you did there, by the way. Okay, look at your movement here again, okay? Are we a robot? Why would we just stand still like that?
I don't know.
Move up, man. This guy's dead. Start moving up and get taking space.
Okay, yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, assuming the rest of the fights are just gonna be the same thing if you get hit by abilities and you
Yes.
okay.
Oh.
Exit this. I'm gonna show you something, okay? The reason why your movement's so bad, by the way, is because this is your clicks. So this is something I learned just like this year, okay? So when you're playing champs like any ADC, no matter what it is, we'll just do Jinx. Where is she? Okay. Watch. I'm gonna do what you do, and then watch what I do.
Okay.
Because this is really important as an ADC. Obviously, your main job as ADC is to maximize damage output, while making sure you don't do any. You take very low amounts of damage yourself, right?
Oh.
But as you can see in the VOD, you had a hard time dodging abilities, and it's because the way you click. Because the way you're clicking. Okay, this is how you're clicking, and I used to be the same way. Okay, this is you see my mouse.
Yeah.
This is how you're clicking. This is how I click. You see the difference?
I see. Okay, yeah.
Right? When brand W's, I'm already clicking here. I can redirect my mouse. You're clicking like this. Like, you see the difference? How my character like do full circles?
Yeah.
Yours is this. You're clicking too far. And a lot of these fights, your camera control should be like this. And the reason why, okay, I mean, I'm gonna use this way, but like if you're red side, obviously it'd be the opposite, right? The reason why is because because you want to see as much as a fight you can on your screen. Do you really need to see what's going on this side of the map?
No.
No, right? Unless it's TP flank, whatever. No. This is good. It's also good sometimes just press space and go like this. And the reason why is because it gives you more information. Right? Let's say, for example, if you're doing this, or let me clear these dummies and go somewhere else. Okay, we'll go like a river fight. Okay.
Mhm.
The reason why it's important to do this is because 2 dummies are here, and you're doing this, and there's another dummy here, and where's the refresh button? Sorry. Okay, even if you have vision, right? Let's say, and you're like this, and this guy just let's see he's a I don't know, like a fucking high target, like a high priority target. Let's say he's like the enemy Twitch, 1 HP, and you have all sums, and you're like maxed out lethal tempo range. Okay, let's build that up real quick. Okay, can I see him?
No.
No, right? Can I see him now?
Yep.
Right, I'm cutting as a bit. Boom, flash reset into kill everyone else, right? You see how important that is? This is your counter control all game. I'm not kidding. Like, you're just like this. And you can't see anything else besides the front screen. This is 95% ADC games when I used to play AD. This is it. As much as information I can read. Okay, enemy player just used all her abilities. Now I can flash in. Or she's 1 HP, but she still has Zhonya's. Or like, etc, etc. You see the difference?
I feel like
start clicking like
whenever.
this as well. Practice, okay? Practice.
Okay.
It will be rough at beginning, but look at my movement, okay? This is you. This is me. You see how more smooth this is?
Yeah.
Okay? So, main takeaways for today's review. One is, I think for you...
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever... I was just gonna say, like, whenever I'm playing, like, on lock screen and have my screen like that, I just, like, I don't know, I just can't control my champion for some reason. It just feels, like, really unnatural. So I guess I have to get used to it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same problem as well, with like as you, where it was really hard to begin, but it's really important as an ADC to do click like that and unlock, because as much as information you know, you can make the right choices. More plays come out, more lines, more variation of the like playmaking, etc. comes, right? You've seen those probably those big plays where like I don't know, an ADC like 𝗥cie makes an insane play, or like, I don't know, like Viper from LPL makes an insane play or whatever, right? It's when they flash in and they ignore everyone else, it's probably because they can see what they need to see, in AK being enemy ADC do sums is 1 HP, or like Jinx to flash backwards because she saw, I don't know, an Asher coming from the side, which she saw because of her camera control. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, all this stuff is really important. I think the biggest takeaways for you, like my biggest advice would be try to focus on getting a better lane phase, right? And the main better lane phase is making sure, like, I'm sure you know you have a rough fight, like you already have a decent baseline for a plat player on how your most matchups go, right? You told me today, literally, they want to push, or like I should get pushed as Jinx, blah blah. It's a matter of execution for you, right? Making sure that you execute on the right plays. 2, I think it's very important for you, literally just go like, if you want to hit diamond, go like 10 minutes a day into practice tool and just CS regularly. Just go practice 10 minutes as 1v0, legit you versus no one else, bottom lane, just last hitting creeps, because your last hitting was also not the greatest. And 3, it just practicing what I just taught you with movement. First, focus on your movement, okay? Click very close to your character, and it's like, I don't know, just like, just keep clicking on your character and get used to the flow, because your wide clicks, where you click wide, is the main reason why you're getting hit by everything. You've probably seen those clips as well, where Faker dodges legit everything, right? You've seen those clips on YouTube? I can pull one up as well, where it's Faker dodges skill shots. Okay, I don't want to watch this 10-minute clip, man. I'll just keep showing you. Okay, whatever, I'll just watch this one.
뭐야? 너 이거 왜 주냐야? 렌터야!
Quick fake.
It's the first blood here. That's it from Faker. Trouble Faker pushing for. Midland's gonna have to back in.
I can't really find the bot. Or there's one in the river he did. I forgot where it was. But anyways, I'll link it when I find it. Is that so? I think those are the main 3 things you should focus on, right? Making sure that you play your lanes correctly. If you have problems, feel free to ask me any questions in DMs. I'll be more than happy to reply to you and help you wherever I can, right? Two, making sure you just practice CSing because ADC is really important. We saw, right? LCS ADC Neo, almost every game on ADC, he's averaging 9.5 CS. The lowest he was like 8.8, 8.5. Really important, right, to have CS because although your team may not be the best, whatever, you hitting your item spec at ADC is the biggest thing, right? Hitting your mythic and then your 4 core, your 3 core, depending on what champion you play. And then 3, making sure that you stay consistent. Consistency will find you the greatest success. The more consistent you are in your games, the more games you'll win. Okay. If you have any other questions about anything, my DMs are always open for you. And now, do you have any questions for me?
I think you answered.
Anything can be about anything.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I think he answered most of my questions already. I think everything's pretty clear.
Okay. There's nothing else about room pages? Nothing else?
Not right now. I'll ask you if I have any questions in DMs.
Okay, that sounds good. I hope you enjoyed your first session with me. I'm still learning, so bear with me on the best way of coaching. I know sometimes I can be all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it for the most part. I hope you learned, and like always, any questions, feel free. My DMs are always open. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was super informative. Okay.
No worries,
have a
man.
nice day.
You too. Take care.
See ya.